So I really like Horney's views on women. She's a proud feminist, and that's a big deal for women at her time because women of that time just identified with their husband and they really weren't supposed to have their own identity. She openly disagreed with Freud's theories and ideas because he didn't take into account the female experience and the female perspective. So she kind of counteracted a lot of the things he said, such as penis envy. She disagreed with penis envy because she argued it was just a product of imbalances among gender and not an actual psychological complex. And which means women don't envy penises, they envy the power and control that comes with having one in our society, which is stupid. And she realized that. Um, And so, to counteract penis envy, she came up with womb envy, which meant that men were envious of how women were able to sustain and create life. And because they couldn't do this, they felt inferior all the time. They felt they had to be superior over women and had to have all the power in society, in relationships, etc. And yeah, women only felt inferior because they were treated as inferior in their culture. And um, that could be different in different cultures, but women were usually always inferior. She also proposed the theory called the flight from womanhood, and that's about how women unconsciously wish they were men, and that could lead to sexual inhibition, sexual problems, because women mistrust men and that can affect their romantic relationships later on. She also disagreed with Freud about the Oedipus complex. That was how Freud thought conflicts between children and parents were sexual, and like the little boy likes the mom more because he's sexually attracted to her. But Horney argued that that wasn't anything about sexual. And it just happened when the parents undermine the child's security. And these are just neurotic conflicts that happen from normal interactions between the children and the parent. And she always thought women shouldn't just identify with their husband, but seek their own identity through work, through hobbies, careers. And I think this was a lot from her mom, who was such a free spirit, even though her father was totally opposite. So I don't even know how they were married. But I think she got a lot of that idea from her mom. And I mean, Horney practiced what she preached. She did get her own career and she did have her total own identity and she wasn't afraid to tell people about it. Um, but it did cost her success in romantic relationships. So she did get a divorce. She was kind of always looking for the wrong attention from men and she had affairs. So it might have hurt her there. And Horney recognized every woman's unique culture and how that can shape them as a woman, so how they act differently in society and how inferior they might feel.